Hello students, today we will discuss about velocity time graph. Here we study the variation of velocity with the time. Velocity is taken along y-axis and time along x-axis. Velocity in kilometer per hour, time in hour. So suppose that a car is moving with uniform velocity. That is, its velocity is not changing with the time or it remain same. Then if we consider two time interval t1 and t2, at time t1 the velocity of the object is 40 km per hour. Again at time t2 velocity is again 40 km per hour. It means it is not changing with the time. So the velocity is uniform. So when we plot a graph, the graph will come out to be a straight line parallel to time axis. This graph shows that the car is moving with uniform velocity. Now we know that the displacement is equal to velocity into time interval. Here time interval is t2 minus t1. In this graph, you see that the velocity of the object is 40 km/h. If we suppose it to be v, then this v will be equal to AC or BD. So we can write it as AC and time interval is equal to CD. And this AC into CD is equal to the area of the rectangle ABDC. This shaded region shows the displacement undergone by the object or the car. So the area under the curve represents the displacement of the object. For uniformly accelerated motion, we know that acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity. Now if the change in velocity takes place in equal interval of time by equal amount, that is velocity changes by equal amount in equal interval of time, then its motion is said to be uniformly accelerated motion. You see in table 8.3 the velocity of the car at regular instant of time. At a regular interval of 5 seconds, the velocity of the car changes by equal amount. That is equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. Velocity is changing by equal amount in meter per second as well as in kilometer per hour. So the motion of the car is uniformly accelerated motion, mean equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. When we plot a graph between velocity and time, then this graph will come out to be a straight line inclined to time axis. If we consider two time interval t1 and t2, at these two time interval the velocity of the car is 20 and at time t2 it is about 38 km per hour. So the velocity is changing by equal amount in equal interval of time. So it is uniformly accelerated. Now the graph for this type of motion will come out to be a straight line inclined to time axis. Now what is the importance of this graph? Now we know that acceleration is equal to change in velocity change in velocity upon time interval or upon time taken. Now if we consider two time interval t1 and t2, at time t1 let the velocity is u, and at time t2 let the velocity is v. So change in velocity is v2 minus v1, and time interval is t2 minus t1. Now here v2 is v and v1 is u. Time is t2 minus t. Now v is equal to ec, and u is equal to dc. And t2 is this much, t1 is this much. t2 minus t1 is bc. And this is equal to ec minus dc equal to ed. ed upon bc. And bc is equal to ad. So we can write acceleration a is equal to ed upon ad. That is perpendicular upon base. And this perpendicular upon base is called slope. Slope of line AB. So slope in velocity time graph represent the acceleration of the object. Now we have, as we have done earlier in velocity time graph, the area under the graph gives the displacement. So in this case also the area under this graph in time interval t2 and t1 is equal to area of this triangle ADE and area of rectangle ABCD. So displacement is equal to area of ABCDE, which is equal to sum of area of rectangle ABCD and ADE. So area of the rectangle is AB into BC, and area of triangle is half of 1 by 2 base into height. Base is AD and height is DE. So In this case also, the area under the curve gives the displacement of the object. For non-uniformly accelerated motion. For non-uniformly accelerated motion, velocity time graph can have any shape. Sometimes its velocity increases, sometimes decreases, then again increases, decreases. So this represents non-uniformly accelerated. This graph shows that the velocity of the object is decreasing with the time. Initial velocity is more, final velocity is 0.